Okay, so for the first time since 2005, the NBA had an opening night game finish in double overtime. If you can tell me in the comments the leading scorer of the game in 2005 when that last happened, I'll burn you a Gucci Man 05 mixtape, right? Out west, the Warriors went on to beat the Lakers. And what did we really learn about opening night in the NBA? One, the NBA is very petty, and I love it. Having Kevin Durant watch the Thunder organization raise a banner and pass out championship rings is like next level petty, and it's why we love the NBA. Two, the Rockets are legit. They got some tweaks they need to make, but super legit. Big fan of what I've seen out of the Rockets. 3, Jimmy Butler shot free throws all summer. And 4, I feel really good about the hot take I made yesterday about the Lakers not making the playoffs. Give me some time and I'll explain why. This is Run 'Em Daily. I'm your host, Harvey Banks, and I would like to sincerely ask that you subscribe to the show, share this with a friend, let these tech companies know that this is the way you like to start your day after a beautiful opening night in the NBA, and you made a little bit of money. I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, so let's start in OKC last night. As I was saying earlier, it was a banner night for the Thunder. They did get to raise that banner in Oklahoma City. First time in franchise history. Kevin Durant was on hand to watch it. I did find myself thinking about Russ last night. And I don't know if that's like as a positive or a negative. Like I was watching this ceremony and like part of me loved that the NBA was so petty and they forced KD to be in attendance for it. But I did start to think like the potential that group had and what they actually did for Oklahoma City. Maybe it's because I'm 38 now and I'm getting older. I was just like, you know what? They laid the foundation. I was thinking about Russ. I was thinking about how difficult it seemed to be for Russ to get a job this year and how I think it would have been great for him to re-sign with the Thunder, not just because of the pageantry behind it, but as a second unit. I think he could actually help that team. I don't know what his relationship is like with the Thunder and Sam Presti after that. I would imagine it would still be good because I think they did right by him and he did right by them. Like I know they still love him. They don't treat them like they treat Kevin Durant. They booed him every time he got the ball last night. Rightfully so. That's how you feel. But yeah, I did find myself thinking about Russ last night, watching this Thunder team, celebrate their championship. It got me thinking about how young they are. And yesterday on the show in my predictions, I said I was pretty certain that they were going to run it back again. I still feel that way. Even without J-Dub, I think they're going to survive that time just fine. And yeah, it was while watching that game or while watching that ceremony, it really did feel like, oh, it's 2014, it's 2015. I'm watching the beginning of a new dynasty being formed just because they're so young. They seem to genuinely enjoy each other. There's going to be guys on this team in the next 2 to 3 years that are going to take team friendly deals just to keep this unit together. A really, really good team, likable guys. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was great to see that. Congrats to the OKC fans. My boy Key, he's the only one I really know that's been down with the Thunder for a decade, just because of where I live at. But yeah, shout out to him, man. Shout out to Thunder fans. Let's get on to the game though, because I learned a lot from this game last night. I think we all did if we really, really paid attention. So I was interested to see what the Rockets offense was going to look like once it was announced that Amen Thompson would be running point. Now, I know that point is kind of fluid in the NBA nowadays. It's not a traditional point guard role like you think of. Like there's not a lot of traditional point guards left in the NBA. So I knew the position would be kind of fluid, but I did want to see how much they did utilize, Amon bringing the ball up, starting the offense and things like that, just because I didn't know how it was going to look like. And it feels to me like the Rockets are just kind of trying stuff, and they're going to continue to do that, for a little bit. And it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying that in a negative way. But it's clear after last night to me what needs to happen and they're probably going to stick with Şengün basically being their version of Jokic, because the offense needs to flow through him. I think he finished with 39, 11, and 7 last night. The 11 and 7 is not an anomaly. The 39 is high. I think a lot of that's due to the double overtime, but throw the points out of there because he can score the ball too. But he is probably the closest thing to Joker that we do have in the league. I know that is a huge, huge statement. Yesterday, I admitted that I was late on the Joker bandwagon. I just didn't see it at first. But once I did see it, I was like, oh no, y'all were right. I was wrong. Jokic is him. I see that stuff in Şengün. And I do think that it's going to morph more into he is going to be pretty ball dominant. And I do think that is going to be what's best for the Rockets. Now, Amen Thompson played better than I thought he would at point guard. And what I mean by that is I'm a huge Amen Thompson fan. He's just really, really raw. Like, all of his abilities are raw, right? And I don't mean that disrespectfully because I know he's young. I think he's just going to continue to get better and better and better. He's one of my favorite players in the league. I was just nervous about him specifically having the point guard role. Like, what was that going to mean? Honestly, it didn't look bad at first in the first quarter and a half when they was running this thing. It didn't look bad at all. He was moving the ball. They was getting the offense kind of in the right spot. You could tell he wasn't 100% comfortable in the spot. But, I mean, it's opening night. It's the first time with, KD. It's a lot going on, and I understand. I'm definitely not judging him on it. It's just, you could just tell it wasn't a natural thing. But it did actually look a little bit better than I thought it was going to look. Like, it looked a little more smooth than I thought it was going to look. And that part was impressive. He finished with 5 assists. I want to say he had a three or four at halftime. I wasn't really paying much attention to his numbers, if I'm being honest. I just wanted to see how the offense flowed with KD and Şengün on the court at the same time. Because, yes, we know about the scoring. Yes, we know about Şengün's passing abilities. The one thing that doesn't quite get talked about enough when it comes to NBA players, I think, is like basketball knowledge. Kevin Durant is one of the smartest basketball players we have. He's always in the right position. He knows where things are supposed to go, making sure the flow of the offense goes there, get to your spots. That's how he operates at his best. And it's how his teammates usually have better seasons if they're in the positions they need to be in to benefit off of the KD collapse. For the most part, it looked about as good as it could look. You can tell that Şengün just really has an understanding of basketball, positioning where people should be. That works well with KD. I do know that Ime Udoka said that he wanted to limit the minutes that Şengün and Durant were on the floor at the same time early, just so the team's rotations can get used to maybe having one and not the other. The only thing that I would change is, it's going to sound bad, Eason can't play 22 minutes, and he cannot be on the floor at the same time as Kevin Durant and Şengün. He just doesn't know where he needs to be. It could just be this is a new thing, so I do want to shoot him some bell. Maybe it was just a, rough night, but both KD and Şengün on multiple occasions kind of looked at Eason like, where are you? What are you doing? He's going at a different pace than they're going at. He's not quite like 2 plays. KD's looking to go to the right elbow and get the ball. Eason is like standing right in front of him at the 3-point line instead of being in the corner where he should be. So, like, not only are you bringing your defender to help on KD and prevent him from getting the pass, but you're also not in position to get the catch and shoot corner three when the defense does collapse on KD for that mid-range. And also, listen, I don't know if it was somebody on the broadcast. It might have been Reggie Miller, bitch ass, but sorry. I got to get better at this. Personal reasons, personal issues with that guy. But it might have been Reggie Miller that said it, and he was absolutely right. The elbow jump shot for Kevin Durant is a layup at this point. Like, I could watch him shoot those elbow jump shots all day long. He the best I ever seen at it, bro. He makes the game. Kevin Durant makes offense look just so easy, bro. Like, it's just, shout out to him. I don't know how many more years he's going to be able to do this. I know that I just appreciate it. I don't care what you think about Kevin Durant, the person. Some people think he's weak. You think he's cupcake, all of that shit. I don't really care about that. You got to respect when you see a master at work, and he is a master at his craft. But yeah, that's the only thing that I'm curious about how that's going to play out is Eason, because they used Eason early and often. He had 22 minutes in the game, 3 points, 5 rebounds. Again, it wasn't really about stats for me. On night one, it was how is this going to look for them, and how it looked. That was my key takeaway was, on all these lineups, everybody seems to know where they're supposed to be and what their role is except him. So maybe that's something he clears up. Ime Udoka's a brilliant coach. KD's a brilliant basketball player. Şengün's brilliant. I do think they get it together with him and they can use that energy off the bench. It just wasn't working last night. Over on the Thunder side, it was an interesting night for the Thunder for me. Because honestly, through the first half, I was like, they don't look great. But you got to remind yourself, this is not the actual Thunder team. They are still missing J-Dub. I don't know, and I probably should have checked when he will be back. I'm not sure. But I do know he had the wrist surgery or whatever. So Chet had about as good of a start to the season in the game as you can have. Like, he ended up 11 for 17 with 28 points, but Chet kept them in that game in the first half. If Chet doesn't start as hot as he does, it's a 20-point game in the favor of the Rockets at halftime. Now, going into halftime, the Rockets also made some kind of young errors. You know what I mean? Right before halftime, the 4-point play given up. So instead of going into halftime up 10, you go in up 6. Just little things like that is what kept the Thunder in the game. SGA was incredible in the second half and overtime. Not a great shooting night. One thing I did notice, though, he took 9 threes. That is a lot for SGA. Something I'm going to watch going forward. I'm wondering if he feels like he has to. I'm wondering where the J-Dub is going to come from, where what you're missing from him is going to come from. You obviously can't really replicate that, but they're going to have a consistent scoring threat in that third option slot because Chet's not going to give you 28 a night. He's just not going to. And I don't think that's what we should ask him to do. Chet's going to probably have to give them 22 a night for them to survive the J-Dub absence, but only getting 6 for Lu Dort. Lu Dort goes 2 for 12. I don't think he's going to shoot that poorly. 0 for 8 from 3. I don't think he's going to shoot that poorly long term. Hartenstein was 2 for 5. I think they do need to. Hartenstein played 37 minutes, 6 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Isaiah Hartenstein assist is always a play that I make, by the way, just because he is one that the books have undervalued and they still really haven't caught up to where he's at. So he's made us consistent money throughout. Caruso played 30 minutes off the bench, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Like I said, it was you can't take a ton from opening night. And I know that. I'm not trying to come on here and overreact or anything like that. I do understand that it's opening night. All of these lineups are fluid. You really just need to see what we have, and then you slowly start to make the tweaks. But I did feel like there were some things that I could take away from that Rockets game. Now, let's move out west. Warriors and Lakers. And let me just start here by saying this. I fully believe now that I can't believe I'm going to say this after game one. This is going to make it sound like I'm one of those dudes that come on here and just make crazy hot takes just to try to go viral or some shit. I'm not trying to do this. Listen, I fully feel better about my take yesterday that I doubt the Lakers make the playoffs this year. And the game last night kind of puts some cool water on that hot take that I had yesterday. It kind of makes it look like, oh, yeah, this is what this is probably going to look like, just because we don't know what LeBron James is going to come back, like which version of LeBron James, but I still don't think it's going to be enough to make this team that much better, which is another reason why I fully believe by the time we get to February, LeBron James he's not gonna be a Los Angeles Laker. Let's start on the Lakers side, just because they only really lost. I mean, they only lost by 10 points. I get that, right? And Luka had a big night. And that's what concerns me the most, is like you get Luka, you get what you expected out of most of these people, and it's just not going to be enough. I also am not huge on the Golden State bandwagon as other people are. I do think they're going to be a playoff team. They're going to be a good team, but I don't think that they're not the Thunder. I don't even think they're the Rockets. You know what I mean? So this to me was telling. Going through the box score last night, Luka had 43 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. Austin Reeves had 26 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. Now, if I stop right there and I tell you Luka's numbers and Austin Reeves' numbers, you're probably going to be like, Lakers probably win by 12 to 15 points, right? Like 18 assists between the two. That's a lot of points and assists, but that's pretty much where it stops. And that's kind of the problem with the Lakers. There's no depth to this team. Like, there really isn't. Rui Hachimura played 35 minutes, had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, took only 6 shots, and they were all 3-pointers. Rui, you cannot play 35 minutes and only take 6 shots. Sorry. It's just not going to work. Like, this team's going to need more than that from you. DeAndre Ayton put in 34 minutes. He had 10 points, 6 rebounds. Listen, 5 for 7 from the field. I don't really know what to expect from DeAndre Ayton yet. He's one that I'm going to show a little grace to, and I'm just going to kind of wait to see how this thing unfolds. But Gabe Vincent? No. Gabe Vincent played 29 minutes, started the game. He is 3 points, 0 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 for 4 shooting, all of them 3-pointers. So you have 2 players in your starting 5 that literally went 4 for 10 from 3, didn't really take any other shots. That's not going to work. That's not going to be winning basketball. And Luka's not going to give you 43, 12, and 9 every night. Austin Reeves is probably not going to give you 26 and 9 a night. So, like, you got what you needed from the top. Let's go to the bench. Significant minutes from the bench. You got Marcus Smart. He played 23 minutes and gave you 9 points. 3 for 6 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. Also had 3 free throws and 3 turnovers off the bench. LaRavia had 16 minutes, 5 points, 3 rebounds. Only took 4 shots. Jackson Hayes, who I thought would have more minutes, 14 minutes, 4 points, 6 rebounds. Jared Vanderbilt, 12 minutes, no points, 3 rebounds, no assists. Again, it's game 1. I'm aware of that, but you can't tell me, if you're a Lakers fan, you see any combination of these lineups taking you to the playoffs. Even when you add LeBron James into that, whatever version of LeBron James you're going to get, you just can't tell me that you feel like this is enough to get to the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. That's all I was saying yesterday. It wasn't really a hot take. I just don't see it happening. They just don't have the talent. Simple as that. All right. So now let's see if we can make some money tonight. So kind of what I was talking about yesterday with the approach to the NBA for me. First 10 games, I don't give you charts. I don't give you data just because, as you can see from opening night, they just don't really matter. Like, it's not, yes, it's data, and sure, it's nice to look at. I go to props.cash and I do kind of look at, like, what did players do last year? You know what I'm saying? But it's not, I don't think the graphs and I don't think the charts are viable information for making you money today, just because we just don't know. Usually for me, I wait 10 games. After 10 games, I will start to give you the data, the charts, the analytics, all of that, just because now I think 10 games is enough of a sample size to be able to find value and find the consistent value. It's also the best time to find your guys that you lock in on that Vegas maybe undervalues all year long, and you can find ways to eat, kind of like the Isaiah Hartenstein assist last year for me. So that's last night was a good indication on why I was saying we treat that like we treat NFL week 1. Throw the graphs out, throw the charts out. We are betting narrative, not analytics. So for tonight, I found 4 picks that I really like. LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists is plus 104 over on FanDuel. I went ahead and took that. They are playing against Brooklyn, and I don't know if you guys watched Brooklyn's offense during the preseason at all, but it kind of looked like what it's going to look like during the regular season. Very AAU like. A lot of shots going to get thrown up. Not a lot of defense. Now, that type of play probably doesn't lead to a whole bunch of wins, but it does lead to a whole bunch of opportunities for us to jump in and find value on usually rebounds and certain guys' points, because, you know, a high volume of shots is going to be shot in the game, especially tonight between Charlotte and Brooklyn. But Brooklyn is one of those teams that we're going to keep on our radar. Even though they're not going to be winning games, though their games, kind of like Knicks games, is going to provide great opportunities for some player props for us that we might be able to find that's undervalued. You know what I mean? Also, I'm going to go, speaking of those Knicks, I'm going to go Donovan Mitchell over 27.5. The Cavs are at New York, minus 102. Donovan likes playing against the Knicks. He especially loves playing against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. It being opening night there, the garden's going to be full. It's going to be rocking. Donovan seems to be a big game type of dude. I'm going to take this. I could see Donovan going up 30, 35 tonight. I may end up taking a ladder play with him. I'm just not sure yet. I didn't for now. So the play I'm going to give out is the over 27.5 at minus 102 on FanDuel. Now, my next one, I got Joel Embiid over 25.5 for minus 114 on FanDuel. You're never going to see Joel Embiid this low again. I do know that there is a restriction in place with him, but as per the latest data, yes, he's not going to ever be playing in back-to-backs again, but he's projected to play about 28 minutes tonight. So he had a game in the preseason where he played 18 minutes and put up about 19 points. I think Joel Embiid will get his early. They will go to feeding him. There's not a lot of options outside of Joel Embiid. So yeah, I think that the 26 points is probably right where it should be with him. You're just never going to really see Joel Embiid this low. I don't even care what the restriction is. So for me, you got to take it. Don't be surprised if Joel Embiid doesn't go out and have 14 or 15 in the first quarter. So yeah, take that, because you're never going to get it this low, possibly ever again this season. The next one I'm taking is Harrison Barnes over 9.5 points. San Antonio, I think, is going to be a better team this year. They're a better team when they're getting Harrison Barnes off the bench in waves. And I think that's going to happen tonight. He's now pretty much the veteran presence, which is even crazier. De'Aaron Fox, being injured and things. I like Harrison Barnes here. Over 9.5. He's another one that we're going to add to our list of kind of keep our eyes on, because Vegas may continue to undervalue him and the Spurs do not undervalue him. He gets a pretty good usage rate. He gets his shots up. I think Harrison Barnes, 10 points is probably going to be I think his line's going to rest around there, throughout the season. But I think he's probably going to average somewhere between 13 and 15 this season, if I had to make a guess. And that's what we're doing, because it's week 1. Let's do a quick rundown so I can get you guys out of here. Again, for tonight's NBA action, we have LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists. That is currently plus 104 over on FanDuel. Donovan Mitchell over 27.5 points, minus 102 in the Garden tonight. Joel Embiid over 25.5 points, minus 114 on FanDuel. Yes, I'm aware of the restrictions. I still think he gets it. He might even have 15, 20 by halftime. Harrison Barnes over 9.5 points. San Antonio is at Dallas tonight. That is plus 102 over on FanDuel. Harrison Barnes is one of those that we're going to add to the watch list for this season, just because I think he's probably going to be undervalued by the books all year long. And for us, that means we're going to eat off of it. This is Run 'em Daily. I'm your host, Harvey Banks. I went over this morning. I do want to keep this show to like 20 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I blew right through that. But we'll get better as time goes on. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube, please go ahead and do that. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts, just know that I appreciate you. Go ahead and leave a rating, leave a review, and let's have a great season.